The intercostal nerves is responsible for motor innervation of the intercostal muscles and sensory innervation of the chest wall. The intercostal nerve comes from ventral rami T1 to T11. You see here on the spinal cord, it breaks into an anterior root and a posterior root, or a ventral root and a dorsal root, which form the spinal nerve. The spinal nerve then breaks into a dorsal ramus, which is responsible for the innervation of the muscles of the back, and a ventral ramus, which becomes the intercostal nerve. At first, you see the anterior ramus is in between the parietal pleura and the innermost intercostal muscle membrane. But eventually, it goes in between the innermost intercostal muscle and the internal intercostal muscle, which is where we see it in lab. In this mid-axillary area, it breaks into the lateral cutaneous branch, and then anteriorly, it breaks into the anterior cutaneous branch, which you can see lies right in front of the external intercostal muscle, which is the outermost intercostal muscle. Now, the intercostal nerve connects to the sympathetic ganglia, shown here, via the great and white rami communicans, which is also shown right here. So this is the gray and white rami communicans, the sympathetic chain ganglia, and it connects to the ventral rami. Now, the greater splanchnic nerves found in T5 through T9, they branch off of the sympathetic chain ganglia, which is shown right here, and they are responsible for sympathetic innervation of the abdominal organs and viscera. The sympathetic innervation from the lungs also comes from thoracic splanchnic nerves. So the thoracic splanchnic nerves will pass through the sympathetic chain ganglia and go to the bifurcation of the trachea at the pulmonary plexus. Here, they're responsible for sympathetic innervation, so bronchodilation, where the vagus nerves that come down from the cranium also innervate here at the pulmonary plexus, but it's responsible for the parasympathetic innervation and for bronchoconstriction.